If getting your ADHD child to stay organized feels impossible, it's not your parenting, it's the system. When cleaning keeps ending in tears, frustration, or power struggles, your child isn't just learning to avoid chores. They're learning to doubt themselves. Today, we're going to fix that. I'm going to show you how to build ADHD-friendly systems that actually work, and we'll use cleaning the room as a real-life example of how you can make it fun, manageable, and confidence-building. But you can adapt this approach to anything you need to clean or organize. Coming up, you'll learn how to make chores like cleaning their room exciting enough to spark your child's focus instead of fighting for it. The bite-sized task method that prevents overwhelm and helps your child finish what they start calmly. And how to turn that one example, cleaning their room, into a repeatable ADHD-friendly system your child can not only use but can maintain with confidence. A parent once told me, "Every time I ask my son to clean his room, it starts out okay, but it ends with one or both of us crying or yelling." I get it. And for a child with ADHD, a messy room isn't just clutter. It's chaos, confusion, and 1,000 decisions at once. What looks simple to us feels impossible to them. But here's the good news. When we design the system to fit how their brain works, everything changes. That same child who used to melt down can suddenly stay on task, finish what they start, and even feel proud of it. So let's talk about how to make that happen. We've got to make it interesting enough for their brain to want to join in. ADHD brains are driven by interest, novelty, and challenge. When something feels dull or repetitive, it's like trying to start a car with no gas. It just won't go. But give it a spark of fun or a clear challenge, and suddenly the engine turns on. So instead of just saying, "Go clean your room," try saying, "Let's see if you can beat the timer and get all your books on the shelf before the buzzer." Or, "We're going on a rescue mission. Save all the stuffed animals from the floor lava before the music stops." It sounds silly, but for an ADHD brain, that tiny bit of play turns a chore into a game. And a game triggers dopamine, the brain's motivation chemical. You can build this into your family's routine. Play upbeat music and make it a clean-up dance party. Set a 3-minute timer and call it a speed round. Challenge them to make up a funny song or do a superhero move while they clean. The key isn't perfection, it's momentum. Once they're having fun, you've got engagement. And once they're engaged, you can build consistency. Now, as they finish each step, reward right away. That doesn't mean a gigantic prize every time, but ADHD brains simply respond better to immediate feedback. It could just be a high five, a sticker, a few minutes of their favorite game, or you just saying, "You crushed that shelf, and I'm proud of you." These small wins teach their brain that effort pays off now, not someday. And over time, they'll learn to associate effort with the payoff that makes it feel worth it. So think of cleaning the room like a video game. Each section is a level. Every completed task earns a mini reward. You're not bribing your child, you're teaching their brain to connect action with accomplishment. When the process feels fun and rewarding, your child learns, "I can do this." And that confidence is the foundation of every system you build next. So now that we've made it fun enough to start, the next step is helping them actually keep going without getting overwhelmed. Let's talk about how to break big, messy jobs into small, doable steps that build momentum. When you tell a child with ADHD, go clean your room, what they actually hear is, do 50 things at once. Their brain floods with decisions, where to start, what to pick up first, what counts as clean, and that overwhelm leads to shutdown or a meltdown. So we take the big job and turn it into a series of tiny, clear steps. Instead of clean your room, say, first I want you to put your dirty clothes in the hamper. Then pause and celebrate that when they finish it. Great. Now let's gather all the Legos into this bin. Each step has a start and an end. No guesswork. You're giving their brain one single target to focus on, and that's what builds momentum. Now, here's where visual support makes a huge difference. ADHD brains struggle with working memory, meaning they literally forget what comes next. A simple checklist or picture chart solves the problem. You can draw boxes labeled clothes, toys, trash, and books. Or for younger kids, use photos of each task. Take a picture of them doing it. Then they can see the plan right in front of them. And every time they check something off, they get that satisfying little ding of progress. My kids loved taking pictures of themselves doing their routines. Another tool I love is the sprint and break method. ADHD brains do best in short bursts, not long marathons. So try setting a timer for 10 minutes of cleanup, then take a 3 to 5 minute break to dance, stretch, or grab a snack, something that they would enjoy doing, but they're not going to have a really hard time stopping after 5 minutes. And then do another short sprint. You can even make it playful. Let's clean up for one song and then take a dance break. This rhythm keeps energy and focus steady and keeps them from burning out. And here's a bonus. These short work break cycles also reduce nagging. Instead of one big standoff about a messy room, you're sharing a series of small wins. You get to say good job a lot more, and why haven't you done this yet a lot less. Think of it like climbing the stairs, not scaling the wall. Each small step gives your child something solid to stand on, and the next step feels easier because they can see their own progress behind them. Once you've built that steady rhythm, the next step is keeping the system simple enough to use and realistic enough to maintain. Because if it's too complicated, even the best plan will fall apart. Trust me, I learned this the hard way. I like to overcomplicate things. The next challenge is keeping it up. Because the system that only works when you're standing there coaching every step isn't really a system. The goal here is eventually independence, and the secret to independence is simplicity. Complicated organizing systems collapse fast for ADHD kids. If it takes more than 2 steps to put something away, it's probably not going to happen. So the goal is to make organization so easy it's almost automatic. Organized doesn't mean Pinterest perfect. It doesn't even necessarily mean color-coded drawers or labels worthy of a magazine spread, although you know I love color coding. Organized simply means functional. If your child can find what they need and put it away quickly, that's success. Progress over perfection every time. When you shift your definition of clean, you remove so much pressure from both of you, and your child is far more likely to participate willingly. If your child has to stop and think about where something goes, it's too complicated. Make everything as visual as possible. Use clear bins when you can and label everything. Yes, even drawers. Add picture labels for younger kids. A photo or a drawing if they like to draw of their socks on the sock bin, or a picture of Legos or blocks on their Lego or block box. Get your child involved by having them make the drawing or take the picture. Keep your categories broad. One bin for toys, one for art, one for books. The fewer decisions your child has to make, the better the system works because it's easier and they'll have less decision fatigue. The easier it is to put something away, the more likely it is that they're actually gonna do it. Organization isn't a one-time event. It's a rhythm. Tiny resets built into the day are what make it last. Try adding a 5-minute cleanup after dinner and a short Sunday reset together before the week starts. Think about making it right before something fun so they have something to look forward to after, like a Friday night cleanup with a movie and popcorn after. Don't surprise them with it though. Predictability creates calm and cooperation. Over time, it just becomes part of how your house runs. Some weeks, the system is gonna fall apart. That's normal. Maybe you forget, maybe you were on a vacation, or you were sick and the room gets messy again. When that happens, and you should expect it to happen, avoid turning it into a lecture. Instead, treat it as a reset for you and your child. Looks like we got off track. Let's start again together. That single sentence communicates grace, partnership, and confidence. No shame required. Remember, ADHD kids already struggle with self-esteem. Criticism shuts them down. Support brings them back in. Think of your child's system like a bridge. If it's too fancy or complicated, it collapses the first time life gets windy. But if it's simple, sturdy, and flexible, it can handle real life over and over again. And once your system is simple and sustainable, the final step is what makes it truly stick, involving your child as a partner in creating and adjusting it. Because when they help build the system, they'll actually want to use it. Once you've got a simple, sustainable system, the final step is making sure your child feels like it's theirs. Because when kids have a say in how things work, they're not just following your rules, they're taking ownership. So instead of designing the whole system for them, build it with them. If they're old enough, ask them questions and start with curiosity. What kind of cleaning feels hardest for you? What would make this easier or more fun? You might be surprised by what they say. Maybe the toy bin feels overwhelming because it's too full. Maybe they'd rather start with one section or play music while they work. Whatever their answers are, use them. When your child helps create the system, they're much more motivated to use it. Even if their suggestion seems silly, use it because that will help them be invested in showing you that they're right, and that alone might make it work. Encourage them to personalize their space and tools. My son had a little cleaning caddy when he was little to do his chores. It was so cute, and he had ADHD. Maybe they decorate their bins with stickers, pick the label, colors, or name the timer something like Captain Clean. These details might seem small, but they transform chores into a sense of ownership. It's no longer your system they're trying to follow. It's their system they helped design. If the mess feels too big for your child, be there with them. You don't have to do the work for them. Although if they're young and they can't do this yet, I would start out by helping them. But your calm presence is what keeps them grounded and focused. After they start being able to do it on their own, you might fold laundry or read nearby while they clean, and just having you there makes the task feel possible. This technique, called body doubling, works because it provides gentle accountability and comfort, like a quiet reminder that you're not all alone in the task. And remember, the system will evolve. If it stops working, that's not failure. It's feedback. It's a sign that something needs to change. Say something like, "Looks like this setup isn't working anymore. Want to try a new way? Maybe the labels fell off or need to be changed. Maybe cleanup time works a lot better earlier in the day." Making adjustments together teaches your child how to problem solve and adapt. Real executive function skills that go far beyond cleaning. When kids learn that they can change the system to make it work better for them, that's when they'll truly start building confidence. They're not just learning how to clean a room, they're learning how to design success for themselves. They're learning that they can do it and that they can figure out systems for themselves that help them do it. So think of yourself as the coach, not the referee. You're there to guide, encourage, and adjust the game plan together. Over time, they'll start calling their own plays. And once your child's room runs on a good ADHD-friendly system, the next place to bring that same structure to is your mornings. Because as getting out the door feels like chaos, the problem isn't your patience, it's the routine. In my next video, Easy Morning Routines That Actually Work for Kids, I'll show you how to build a morning system that works just like this one. Simple, visual, and designed for your child's brain. Click to watch that video, and let's make your mornings calmer, smoother, and meltdown-free. Got through it. Gotta do my own little dance.